On the 5th day of Jasmus, I reviewed a ditch-digging man.
Shovel Knight. Of all the games I've played this year, I think Shovel Knight is the one that appealed the most to my primal gaming sensibilities. Super Nintendo was my first console as a really young child, and challenging 2D platformers may be the genre that I hold nearest and dearest to my heart. So with that in mind, I think it's pretty obvious that I had a fantastic time with Shovel Knight. I could tell you all the obvious things that make this such a superb title: the colorfully clean pixel art, the rock and chiptune soundtrack, the tight platforming and combat gameplay, but this is stuff you all probably know already. If I'm going to talk about Shovel Knight, I have to talk about the things that made it so special for me personally. For one, I felt so in tune with the gameplay, it's almost like this thing was made for me. The running, jumps, the timing, even where the various secret treasures are hidden. It felt so intuitive, you could have told me I was playing a game from my childhood that I somehow forgot about, and I might have believed you. I tend to prefer my games linear when possible. I understand the appeal of open world stuff and the adventurous feeling it can give, but to me there's nothing like a game where every single beat feels like this purposely designed story that's being told via gameplay. That being said, the non-linear elements of Shovel Knight still work just fine for me because they give you options on where to go and what to do without making it too overwhelming. Even the towns you visit are just big enough to contain what they need to contain, no more, no less. The bosses. If you know me, you'll know I love bosses. And this game more than delivers. Each boss in this game has a completely different style that's reflected both in their appearance and their battle strategies. They even have levels that do a great job representing them and getting you hyped up for who you're about to fight next. I had fun fighting each and every one of these guys, with the Spectre Knight fight probably being my favorite. So now you know why I love Shovel Knight so much. In regards to the first campaign, oh yes, there's more. Remember when I said how the base game hooked me so well because of how intuitive it felt playing as Shovel Knight? Well, the second campaign, starring Plague Knight, is nothing like that. But guess what? I love that one too. Yeah, in contrast to Shovel Knight, who feels like a reincarnation of one of those tight SNES games you played as a kid, Plague Knight plays in a completely unique way that really threw me for a loop the first time I tried it out. But it makes sense. Plague Knight isn't nearly as much of a physical talent as Shovel, so instead he has to rely on his explosives for both combat and platforming purposes. This requires you to master a charge attack blast that will be vital for clearing jumps and reaching ledges. While Shovel had a number of useful magic abilities to choose from, Plague's upgrades focus almost solely on his explosives, allowing you to customize them in all kinds of different ways as you progress through the game. These modifications can radically change the way you play, from how your smaller bombs are dropped to what special effect is unleashed when launched by your charge explosion. Customization like this is the type of thing that can get intimidating for me personally, but it honestly wasn't too bad for me in this case. Some people may not like that you play through the same levels here as you did in the base campaign, but I think it actually works perfectly. Think about it. First we had to go through all those levels as the intuitive, classic epitome of a 2D platform character, Shovel Knight. Now we have to make our way through those same areas, albeit with some changes here and there, with a new character who plays completely differently than anything I've experienced. It's a whole different type of challenge. Oh, and by the way, there's still 2 other campaigns. The third you play as Spectre Knight, who once again comes with his own unique moveset that I'd probably play somewhere between Knight and Plague in terms of how difficult it is to get the hang of. The most notable thing being the slice mechanic that Knight uses to zip diagonally upwards into the air. Just like the other 2, it's an excellent campaign from start to finish, and even features brand new levels for those of you who may have been disappointed by the repeats with Plague Knight. As of this writing, I've shamefully not played the King Knight campaign yet, but come on, it's pretty much a guarantee that I'm gonna like it. The only possible negative thing I can think of off the top of my head is that the rooms that go dark repeatedly were a bit disorienting for me. I'm not sure why exactly, since I can really enjoy this type of mechanic like in A Shot in the Dark, but here it just felt a bit annoying for whatever reason. But hey, if that's the only thing I can think to complain about, I mean, this is like near perfection here. Shovel Knight is an awesome game, but that's pretty much the wrap up. I feel kind of bad for the game that's gonna have to follow it.